given us another opportunity to appreciate life and to fulfill our mission as your instruments of peace and progress. Please pardon us for our shortcomings. Help us to amend our impieties. May we learn to pattern our lives through your Son's example. Father, bless our endeavors, especially today's meeting. Guide us in our discussions. Enlighten our minds in every decision that we make. Give us your courage and grace, that we may effectively do our part as public servants. Bless our plans, programs, and projects, so that we may achieve our objectives for your greater glory. All this we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
I shall work with this general objective that I am accountable to God, to Mother Earth, to my country, to my fellow men, and to myself. I shall uphold the ideals and follow the norms and ethical conduct of this noble profession. I shall pursue moral and professional excellence to the utmost level of integrity through industrious dedication and meaningful application to my work that merits a reputation for quality of services worthy of fair remuneration. I shall pledge myself to the highest standard of professionalism in relation to clients, colleagues, industry partners, and society. I shall dedicate myself to the pursuit of creative endeavor towards the goal of enlightened art and science, generously sharing it. I shall respect the rights and works of my colleagues in the profession and confine my comments to constructive intents. I shall endeavor to do my duty in the protection of our common environments and the preservation of architectural heritage for the sake of the present and future generations. So help me God.
Hello, hello. Can everybody hear me? Good evening, each and everyone of UAP Baguio who has come to attend our third general members meeting. So we are live on Facebook. So hello everyone, and I would like to ask everyone, each and everyone, to turn on your cameras kasi we will be having random attendances later on to see if you're there. And yeah, everyone looks good dito sa aking screen. So again, welcome, and I'd like to call on our secretary, Architect Ariel, for our roll call. Uh,
Hello, hello everyone. Thank you, Ma'am Dale. I'd like to welcome you all and thank you for giving us a part of your time for attending our Zoom meeting for tonight. First, I would like to acknowledge the presence of our emeritus present, namely Architect Josephine Chan and Architect Rafael Chan. Our past presidents who are with us right now, Architect Jeromina Arellano, Architect Roberto Banyares, Architect Melissa Patano, Architect Maria Criselda Soriano, Architect Norbert John Ugay, Architect Cristito Valdivia, and Architect Arben Lacamen. And to our 48 members, including the chapter officers present, good evening, everyone. We have
Alrighty,
an
thank you.
interesting...
Ay,
Oh,
sige,
sige,
sige. So sorry
yeah, sabi
na-interrupt na
ko,
kita. Sige, tuloy mo
sabi
na.
ko lang, we have an interesting talk for tonight, so please stay put. Okay na po, ma.
Yes. Nagulat ako sa'yo. All right. Thank you. Um, Teka, itanggalin ko lang yung spotlight video sa ayan. All right. So, without further ado, I'd also like to call on now Architect Jonard to introduce our speaker for tonight. This would be a very interesting talk, and I hope you all enjoy. We had very good reviews from our last speaker last month, um, si Ma'am Aline, about mental health. I hope that everyone have learned, and then meron po tayong replay sa ating Facebook page, UAP Baguio City Chapter. So meron po tayong page, and then as a reminder, we also have a website, uapbcc.carrd.co for all your needs sa ating chapter. So again, I'd like to call on Jonard now. Architect Jonard.
Hello everyone, good evening. Uh, yes, before we proceed now, may YouTube channel din pala tayo. Anyway, all right, so I am honored to introduce to you our speaker for tonight's event. Okay, so Our speaker is currently a freelance human resource consultant and facilitator who started Inkblot's HR services, training and coaching, which offers programs and services that brings together seasoned consultants and professionals who are passionate about helping organizations and the people within them realize their full potential. Our speaker is currently the manager of Canave Enterprises in Baguio City. She's a business partner of Eason's Dental Care, Dunning Green Landscape and Garden Supply, and Acero Farms. She has been bestowed a title fellow in personal management by no less than the Philippine Society of Fellows in Personal Management. She is currently the president of the Philippine Society for Talent Development of Cordillera Administrative Region. She is one of the board of trustees of the People Management Association of the Philippines of Baguio Benguet for several years. This lady, who is a part-time faculty of the Graduate School of the University of the Cordilleras, St. Louis University, and Don Mariano Marcos State University Open University System in La Union, prefers to be recognized not only as a professor, but also a coach and mentor. She has been certified by the Philippine Center for Entrepreneurship and the Department of Trade and Industry as a mentor for the Kapatid Mentor Me Entrepreneurship Program. The Civil Service Commission, CAR, has tapped her to be external consultant and trainer for their in-house trainings and seminars. To solidify her credentials, she has been accredited as a trainer, facilitator of SGV Development Dimensions International Workshops. Our speaker is a PhD Emeritus graduate in Developmental Administration. She earned her Bachelor of Science in Psychology with units in education, a consistent honor student, and Dean's Lister. She finished her Master's of Science in Public Management from St. Louis University as cum laude and loyalty medalist. She was a recipient of the Civil Service Commission's Loyal Scholarship Program. She also took courses in human resources at the Curtin University in Perth, Western Australia. People describe this dynamic woman as a seasoned professional with experience and training in human resource management, organizational development, leadership development, learning and development, and production management. She designs and facilitates organization intervention programs. She is often invited as a resource speaker, trainer, lecturer, advisor in various engagements in the academe, private and public organizations, as well as social civic associations. She is likewise a licensed psychometrician and practicing industrial and organizational psychologist, and finds value in being a life and career coach. Her employment ranges from human resources, manufacturing, academe, and government service. She was employed at Texas Instruments as a production specialist and later as a preschool teacher at the Our Lady of Mount Carmel, Montessori. She served the government for several years, first with the Department of Agrarian Reform as Human Resource Assistant, then later at the Department of Trade and Industry, CAR, as Regional Human Resource Management Officer. She occupied the position of Human Resource Officer for Staffing, Training, and Organizational Development of Moog Controls Corporation for several years. Later, she was a lead facilitator of the Assembly and Test Department of the Industrial Segment of Moog Corporation. Organizations such as Bank of Commerce, Felix Mining Corporation, Headcore, Janhay Management Corporation, Hill Station Restaurant, Zeus Food Corporation, Glock Security Services, SDS Builders, Diocese of Baguio Benguet, Rotary Clubs, LRA Pacific, Venus Park View Hotel, Vive Blet Realty, various government agencies are just a few of her satisfied clients. Napakarami, di ba? So it's kind of overwhelming, but without further ado, colleagues, friends, and everyone who is watching in our live feed, let's welcome our speaker for tonight, Dr. Grace Cerezo Canave.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me clear? Okay, great. Good evening, everyone. I wish I could hear you, but obviously you're in mute. If you notice, when Architect Don was introducing me, I was yawning already because I got bored already about my introduction. Kasi sabi ko, please make the introduction short. I think he missed to read the message that I sent him. Anyway, how is everyone? Can you give me a thumbs up, please? Both thumbs up if you're okay. Yes, okay. Architect Jan Ugay is saying, yeah, we're good. Yan. Can I call you by your first names na lang po? Yeah, would that be okay? Okay, kasi parang ang serious natin. Are we also tired already? Okay, sige. I hope we're not so tired. This is my first time to do a talk, and it's very worthwhile, obviously, for the group of architects. I used to do talks for the group of engineers from all sorts of engineering backgrounds. Now, today or this evening, I'm gonna do this talk for the group of architects, and this is just so exciting for me because this is gonna be my first time. And I hope I have some people who are coming from St. Louis and UC also there. Yan, meron ba tayo? Sige. So welcome to our session on building on strengths and moving forward. This is actually just a part of a whole program that I developed even before the pandemic happened. And it's under a whole program that's called Managing Life Transitions. So Managing Life Transitions is more of a full-length 72-day program that encompasses the enhancement of skills of individuals as well as organizations, depending on what kind of transitions that they are undergoing or trying to overcome. During this pandemic, there have been a lot of things that were happening. Now, I'd like to thank you for calling us through Architect Don here, who invited me when I traveled with him for a project to be done somewhere in Tarlac. And I'd like to thank Don for this opportunity to invite me. So this webinar is brought to you by my group. It's called Inkblat's Human Resource Service Training and Coaching. Yeah, for all the trainings that we do, we always ensure that there is a return of investment, or what we call the ROI. So I would like to later on ask from any one of you at the end of the webinar about your wows. And what are the wows? No? It's about the wisdom gained for the first W. O is for an opportunity open, that an opportunity that is open to you while you've been listening to me. And then the next W is a worthwhile action that you will take, because it's not just the work of the mind, but it's also the work of the hands as well as the work of the spirit. Yeah. So later on, I'll be asking you to be sharing your wows on this one. Yeah. So basically, let's first ask ourselves. I know that during the past GMM that you had last month, you invited somebody to talk about mental health. And this is now moving forward, no? Being trained under the strengths of Gallup. It's a management organization in the US. We've been using strengths already for, maybe I've been trained already for the past 10 years, no? To be using strengths. And as a jump off of your GMM topic last month, the speaker, I believe, spoke about mental health. And as a jump off, as I mentioned, mental health is more of allowing people to understand and accept that there's something that is perhaps not only wrong, but something that can be done about the present condition of a person. Now, let me ask all of you in this group of, I think, 60 to 80 participants, architect, and I've been noticing a lot. I noticed that there are names that I'm familiar with. I wish I was that rich to invite you to build a hotel, perhaps, or a building for me in the future, perhaps. Diba? Okay, God willing. So who among you are having these thoughts now? Okay, I know that there's a chat portion in this, and I think I'm gonna ask Architect Dale here and the other facilitators to help me out on this one, to read some of the thoughts that our fellow architects or our professionals would like to share with us. Just a quick thought, no? I feel I do not have the drive to work. Siguro you could just say I in the chat room or in the chat box. Who among you feels that you do not have the drive to work? Sige, magpakatotoo lang po tayo, ha? Kasi that's one way to release tensions and stress during this time of pandemic. Okay.
Nagkakahiyaan po ata.
Nagkakahiyaan pa po. Yan. You know, this is one thing, no? I've been doing webinars during the pandemic since May, I think, no? And nagkakahiyaan daw. Sige. Sige, you admit it lang. It is the way to release actually. And then, sige. Etong challenge, no, pag naka-webinar, hindi nakikita kung nagsasabi ng totoo. Pero we would know that. Sige. So, who among you says that you are scared or has the statement, I am scared and I don't know why? Okay, let me just share this with you. During the start of the quarantine, magpakatotoo tayo dito. During the start of the quarantine, oh wait, I'm looking at responses here. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, Lloyd. I love you already at the onset. I love you for your volunteerism. Yes, we need drive sometimes to work. Thank you. Sige. Or baka may delay lang, no, sa responses natin. Okay, let me go back to what I was talking about. During the start of the quarantine, we didn't know what was happening, right? So we thought it would just take a month. So pagdating ng March 17, 16 or 17, parang everybody was curious what would happen during the ECQ. And then later on, during the month of April, medyo kinakabahan na tayo kasi it was so dim. The hope of going back to work was very dim. And I myself would admit that I was scared. I didn't know what to do. I had a whole lot of commitments. I had out of town talks. I had seminars to manage. I had a whole track of trainings for the Civil Service Commission. And then during the month of April, mid-April, clients started to tell me, Doc Rachi, I think we'll have to postpone. I think we'll have to move it to the other month, to the next month. And then they started to creep into me, and then I was starting to be scared. Because the only transaction that I was doing was going to the bank or withdrawing from the bank to an ATM when I can. And I got scared because I didn't have that much money anymore. And I don't know when the pandemic would end, and I didn't know when I would have to go back to my projects again. So, ito ako, I was scared. All I did was to pray. Now, did any one of you feel that? Obviously, yes. I'm seeing a lot of nods here. And who among you is saying now, I'm going nuts over this new normal, which is to me abnormal? Diba? Lahat tayo, we're feeling so abnormal with this new normal. Yung mga may asthma, nahihirapang huminga. Ayan, thank you, Ariel. Thank you, Mayan. Yan, past President Soriano. Yeah. So you're going nuts, no? So nahihirapan tayo because there's just so much to do. And as architects, I believe that you should be always on site. I believe that you should always be doing your thing on the site. I know you should be going to the places where you ought to be traveling to for your clients' needs, but you cannot do that. I feel with you, I feel for you, and I'm going nuts over this thing already. But I said, one day I said, no, Lord, just give me the provision of wisdom. What can I do? No, I wake up already in absentia thoughts that with this quarantine, what is the driving force that I will have to do? But I have to move on, I said. So that's the reason why I came up with a design for this moving forward. And I just thank the Department of Education who asked me and who pushed me to do this. And at that time, wala po akong laptop na matino. Dito lang mga architects, no, mga high-tech ang mga laptop nyo malamang. So sabi ko, just ko Lord, my laptop is so slow. How can I do webinars? I didn't know what Zoom was all about. I'm not a techie person. And then one time, DepEd called me to do the seminar, a webinar to design something for the teachers who are heavily affected by the pandemic. And then, so I admitted to the superintendent, the director, that, I don't know how to do webinars. And he said, okay, if you cannot do it, we could call for somebody. And then that drove me to do something. So I called the national president of the Philippine Society of Training and Development. And I said, I'm going nuts already, please help me. So he coached me on how to do webinars. And then, you know what I did to drive me further? I bought an expensive laptop. Why so? Kasi sabi ko, pag mahal itong laptop na to, hindi naman po yung pinakamahal, yung afford ko lang na medyo high-tech. I said, kasi kailangan bumalik yung investment ko. With this amount, in a couple of months, I target myself to be doing webinars for the next months, 2 months or 3 months, I'll be on my feet again. Para mabawi ko yung bayad ko dito sa laptop na to. And I did. And I did. And I said to myself, yes, I will do this. And I did. That's why I'm doing this webinar for all of you now. So what is the driving force behind at ayaw ito, Dale? Ayaw mag-click yung aking hang on na.
Usually sa ayan.
Yan. Yan. And yan, thank you, Dale. Medyo nag-move na siya. And then so sabi ko, kung gagawin ko to, what would be my greatest fear while I'm doing it? Now I ask you, what to you is your greatest fear during this crisis and even beyond the crisis? Can I see some responses, please? So I'd see a profile of the architects group. Ano yung greatest fear ng mga architects during the COVID-19 crisis and also beyond? Let's hear it also from Architect Ariel, perhaps. You could just write down your response. Or si Abby serious. O si Chelsea. Hi ladies, I love to see people or ladies in a group of what I believe is a male-dominated profession. Uncertainty. Yeah, thank you, Mariah. May Ann says, health-related issues for me and my family. Yes, I feel with you. And Elvin, you're saying the virus itself, yes, which is, you don't know what kind of virus it really is. And a fear, again, according to Jasmine, a fear for the vulnerable ones. Yeah, the poor, those who are really sick, who have existing health conditions. Postponements, yes, like webinars have postponements because they're delayed. Anxieties, yeah. Yeah. Sige, let's see more. I want to see more. Siguro 2 more. Postponements of projects, I suppose. Di ba, Sir John? Yan. Yep. Sige, let's see 2 more perhaps. According to Edward, anxiety over acquiring the virus itself, yes, and possibly the suspension of a project over a positive case among the workers and staff. You see, as architects, you have concerns not just about your work, but also about people who work with you, about people who may carry the virus. Yeah, much affected. Obviously, are the OFWs. Limited to no income. I feel you, Sherwin William. Limited to no income with continuous expense. Yeah. Grabe to. Yeah, I feel everyone. No? So our greatest fear is just so much. And the fears that we're having are the same as the fears of the other professions. Eh? So I just like to sympathize with you and empathize with you. But mind you, there's always, diba? Yeah. So for the next question, what actions have you done to manage that fear? So there. So let's hear the responses again. What actions did you do to manage that fear? Okay, I love this. Now for Bayan, continuous communication with family. Yes, I totally agree with you. Communication is a must other than the mask. So at least buti na lang may Facebook, may Skype, and all of those which kept us sane. Prayer, sabi ni Roberto, ni Robert, past President Robert Banyares. Yes, sir. Sir, I think I met you somewhere already. I think Rotary or a civic action group. Yeah, okay. Si Don, looking for alternative ways to continue work. Yes. You cannot build houses or design houses, di ba? Na nasa, ano lang, laptop. Trust in the Lord always. Yeah, Abelardo. Architect kanilang. Yes, so we'll see two more siguro. I started praying. I love you, Sherwin. I started praying the rosary again. Oo, tayo mga Louisians, karamihan sa atin Louisians, no? Nag-Hail Mary, our Father. And then we forgot about it because we were so yabang already. We forgot to pray the rosary. And then when there was the COVID-19, the pandemic, everybody looked for the rosaries and started praying the rosary again. Chelsea, or is it Chelsea? Allotted longer time for praying and saying I love you often to my family members. And that really means well, because means a lot, because when you say your I love you to your families, you don't know if tomorrow's guaranteed. The only thing that's guaranteed, Chelsea, is that we are here today, but when you wake up tomorrow, the next day. Yun na natin alam, di ba? Architect Parogan? Yeah, are you related to Grace? Dami ko nakikita mga apelyedong familiar. Sige, moving on. Now, from a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest or being unready, and 5 being ready, how would you rate your ability to manage the situation now as a professional and as an architect? How would you rate yourself? Are you in an unready rating of 1 or a high readiness of 5? Mm-hmm. Yeah, si Dale says she's at a 4. That's high, Dale. Also, Edward. I believe it's because also of your responsibilities to the UAP. John says 1. Pero ngayon, 3 to 4 na. O naman. So I'm seeing an average of 3. 3.5. Si Elvin, medyo may 0.5 pa siya, ha? Oh, same with Joverly. Yeah. Okay. So I think that's an average of 3.5 kasi may hinatak tayo ng mga 4 and yeah. Walang nag-5 ha. But okay lang yan. Sige. So the profile of the United Architects of the Philippines, no? This is the Baguio chapter, is telling us that your readiness to cope with the events that are happening in your lives as professional is at a high of 3.5. It is very good because during this time, we psychologists would say that we ought to be moving already. No? Pa-move forward na tayo dapat. We're not moving backwards already. We're not supposed to be stagnant. I tell you here, some of the things that happened. Okay. I live at the, may lag ulit. Yan. Yan. If you'd see here, yan. A lot of you who studied architecture at the Baguio College's Foundation or UC would know where this place is, di ba? Yan. Sa ano po ito? Sa GovPac yan, walang bus, no? So I lived somewhere there and it was really disheartening to realize that wala na, no? I couldn't see any more of the buses kung saan ako lumaki. So sabi ko, what's happening here? It's so saddening that the trips haven't returned yet. And I'm one person who loves to travel. And on the upper right-hand corner of the screen, I miss doing seminars outside Baguio. I love traveling. I love the road. I love seeing new spots and meeting people. And I think you miss this also. Your GMM is supposed to be in a big hotel somewhere else. Diba? Pero anong nangyari? Nawawala tuloy, no? And then here, road trips are very good. Ang dami na. Baguio's now on September 21, we're going to be opening our doors to the Ilocos region. But are we also sure that we are accepted in La Union or in Pangasinan for our road trips? We love coffee and we love tea. We love going to the salon. We love to have a spa. But what's happening now? Hindi na nangyayari because we cannot even meet up with friends. No? The most that we could do is to meet up with 1 or 2 friends lang. Pero magkalayo pa, social distancing is happening. So, but we are Filipinos. Sabi nga natin, we are all Filipinos, and the number 1 characteristic of Filipinos is resilience. According to Henry Manuncia from the eCare Compassion Ministries, no? That other than hospitality, that used to be the number 1 on the list, but now it's number 1. The number 1 on the list of the qualities of Filipino to be admired is the word resilience. According to him, our world has so much to learn from the Filipino, where wars and conflicts continue to tear people apart, and social as well as environmental challenges push them into despair. The Filipino, whose experience is no less than that of the rest of the humanity, can certainly stand with his shining example of resiliency. Yan ang sabi ni Henry Manuncia. Resilience, if you would define it, is the ability to be optimistic, to take an action, to look at the situation, and to look at situations beyond the current situation, and that is resiliency. And when you talk about resiliency, it's not just about moving on. Kasi pag moving on, para magjowa lang to. Diba, Abby? Are you married, Abby? Yeah. It's just, moving on is, if you're relating your relationship to somebody, it's dealing with the past. It's dealing with your emotions. Kaya ko to, masama loob ko sa'yo, hindi mo natapos yung project ko or yung design ko na bahay, supposed to be, puro glass siya, bakit dinara mo? Ba't ang daming mga hindi na pwedeng ilagay na mga disenyo na gusto ko, di ba? Bakit ang cut ng lupa ko, L-shape, bakit asa na, nawala na, hindi ko gusto. Kung saan mo nilagay yung aking kwarto, there are regrets, there are burdens, no? That is just moving on. But for moving forward, it's dealing with the future. It's going beyond what is happening now. We move forward, we advance in a position or progress. It is to compel or cause something to happen. So beyond the pandemic, what can we do as professionals? We have to accomplish something. Despite fear, we have to achieve. Ameliorate means to dagdag, no? Dagdagan natin kung ano yung meron ngayon, to enlarge, to make it bigger, to expand, to grow, to increase, and to boost. One concern, buti nga kayong UAP you're already having webinars. For us in the Philippine Society for Talent Development in the Cordilleras, we only had 2 webinars. Medyo naglaylo yung group namin, and that's a challenge for us. So, but still we have to move forward. So that's differentiating moving on and moving forward. Now, when we start moving on, we don't just move on, as I said, we build on strengths. And how do we move forward? Let me give you the letters to the meanings of the word, of the letters of the word forward. This is, F is for fear, O is opportunities, R is for reality, where W is work, A is for acclamation, appreciation, R is relationships and dreams. Let's take one at a time, no? F in the word forward is facing your fears. Sabi nga nung ating mga participants kanina, we adopt a spiritual lifestyle. You grab your rosary, you start praying. You prayed more than you did before, di ba? And then sabi natin, when you face your fear, you have 2 people, you ask 2 people to slap you one to slap you on what you can do, and one to slap you on what not to do. Okay? Tumayo ka na doon, wala kang ginagawa dyan kundi matulog, kumain, mag-order online, tumataba ka na. And then somebody slaps you also on things that you have to do. This is just being true to yourself. If you say that you are not afraid, you're just being plastic. Hindi totoo yan, no? Everybody fears, but to be fearful means that you have to accept the fact that there's something to be done. You have to be optimistic. You have to move forward. To think and believe that being optimistic will allow you to step a little, and then later on you're taking on leaps already. Be confident and rebuild if necessary. And that is facing your fear. And being driven internally, not because somebody pushes you to do something, but because you have a project to do and you are a professional to do it. That's why you are driven internally. That is facing your fear. O is seeking for opportunities. In the acronym forward, O is for opportunities. You recognize, you seek, and you create opportunities that were opened and brought about by the crisis. Ano bang mga nangyari? Diba? Na nag-push sa atin to become, other than an architect, perhaps an entrepreneur. And then you challenge your belief systems. What are things that you believe that you thought wouldn't allow you to think otherwise than what you thought you would have done before? Ito yung tinatawag nating hardwired, yung tangkan ulo. Marami sa ating Pilipino yan, matigas sa ulo, no? But a lot of things are changeable, that we think are unchangeable should be changeable, no? Marunong kayo niyan, hardwired kasi you make use of electrical stuff in your designs, etc. You create a new wiring and it can be done. You need to have upgrades also, no? There are things that you have to renew, upgrade, and update. And you seek for opportunities. And what are the opportunities that were open? Yan. Let's look at this one. The people whom I know who opened businesses, even during the pandemic, were those who had bicycles and motorcycles. Yan, yung Uber Eats, yung Food Panda, yung Grab Food, etc., etc. I know of a lot of teachers who couldn't teach, but may motorsiklo, may bicycle, they started baking, they started delivering food, shopping for people. Like a friend of mine, if you see the bottom picture there, the lower picture with the cinnamon rolls there, a co-faculty of mine whose name is Jorap. Sabi niya, wala akong load, di ako makapagturo, ayokong mag-work online. Sabi niya, na-discover niya and na-rediscover niya yung skill niya to bake. So she started off with pandesal, cookies first, then pandesal, and then she created some other stuff. And then she's now making a lot of cinnamon, and then she just texted me this morning. She said she's got buko pie and cheesecake pies, cheesecake cupcakes. So galing, no? So ang dami nating naiisip that are opportunities beyond being a professional. And then some of my mentees here who are entrepreneurs started dropping their gulay and then went to each barangay. Imbis, if you're Ilocano, imbis nga mabulok da yung gulay da, nagidis-distribute da laengan, impadpadawat da yung gulay da. So rather than you allowing the vegetables to rot during the quarantine, anong ginawa? Nagpamigay. And here's just one smart guy who's familiar to many of you. Okay. I think you know this guy. His name is Rian, and he's one of the board top-notchers of the architecture exams. I never thought that he's the son pala of a friend of mine who's a civil engineer, si Annette. So one time I watched him, nagkataon lang na when you're watching YouTube kasi di ba sunod-sunod yung mga nasa screen. And then napunta ako din dun sa screen niya, and then sa YouTube, and then video niya. And then I said, kakaaliw tong lalaking to, tong batang to Only to find out that he's from Baguio and a graduate of SLU like most of you. And you know what? A lot of my friends are watching his videos not because they want to build a house or want to get his services, but because they find him to be relaxing. Nagiging stress buster daw siya. Because sa mga jokes niya daw, yung mga millennial jokes niya, natututo daw sila. So you see, there are a lot of opportunities that could be open to a lot of professionals like us. Na other than what we do now, we discover a lot of things that could be done better than we usually did. This is I'd like you to grab a pen and a paper, please. Yan, kung meron po kayong pen and a paper with you. Sige. In the word forward is the letter R. I'd like you to complete the statements here. For the first one, I am, kindly write down a physical attribute, just one, a physical attribute that you are proud about yourself. You could say, I am tall, or I am handsome, I am healthy. Ayan, I am handsome. Sige, tanggapin na natin yan. Okay, sige. Yan, thank you for sharing. This is actually, you don't have to, I thank you for the others for sharing the responses. Yeah, I really admire you for your generosity to share it. Sige, just continue to write it down. I am your physical trait. And then for the second one, I am, you write down there a quality that you are proud about, a characteristic that you are proud about. If you believe that you're the best architect in Baguio, then go ahead. I am a veteran architect, and I know Architect Chan is one of the veteran architects here of Baguio. Very good projects. Nakikita ko lang kasi yung mga karatula kung sino yung mga architects. So I know that a lot of you are having a lot of big projects here. And you're recognized to be very experienced already. So you could say, I am a very good architect. Number 3, write down there a talent or a skill. So siguro you're a piano player. I am what? I am a marvelous pianist. Or I am a good collector of what? Superman or superhero. Yeah. Yes, sige. Thank you. So sabay saying here, I am positive, etc. Sige. I guess most of you are done. So this time I'd like to tell you that in the word forward, for you to move forward to something that's realistic, you embrace the truth that you are that kind of person, that in the 3 affirmatives that you have written in your piece of paper, you are that person. And nobody else will disagree with that. If I may draw you to the book, The Secret, in the book, The Secret, it tells you about the law of attraction. And in the book, in the law of attraction, it tells you simply that what you believe in, you conceive, and that is what you receive. So if you believe that you're guapo, you're handsome, then go ahead. You are that kind of person. If you believe that you're maganda, then go ahead. If you believe that you're sexy, then you are that. Because the universe, which is a very powerful entity, gives back to you in a multitude the reality that you are that person, that you are optimistic, that you are a talented architect, that you are an architect who has high morals, who's got respectable ethical standards in society. You are the one who designs buildings that are not just beautiful, that are not just aesthetically acceptable, but have been compliant with the standards of building. So there, so embrace the key here is for you to move forward, you have to embrace the reality that you are that kind of person. Okay ba? Robbie Z, are you still okay? Are you sure you're already a graduate of a 5-year architecture course? Para kang high school. Ha? Sige. So now, I'd like everybody to embrace this reality, which we always do in our seminars. Mula Apari hanggang Hulo, Singapore hanggang London, alam na po nila ito because this is the mantra that I share to my mentees, to my attendees, to my participants, and to my coaches. And this is what we shout out as, I am good, I am blessed, I can do great things. So can we do that, United Architects of the Philippines, Baguio chapter? Kahit di ko kayo maririnig, can we shout out to the universe so that the United Architects of the Philippines will be good, blessed, and you put together great things? Can we do it at the count of 1, 2, 3 now? I am good. Okay, I heard it. I heard it. I heard it because I saw your mouths move. Sige. So this is a mantra which tells us that we are made in the image and likeness of God and we are good. We are blessed because not all people are able to attend a webinar like this. Not all people have electricity or a computer to join a webinar like this. We are blessed because we still have money to buy pang-load sa telepono. We are blessed because we are still fed. We could still eat. Nakakapag-online order pa tayo. And then we could do great things because despite the delays, no, the postponement of our projects, better days will be happening. And this will happen because we are good, we are blessed, and we could definitely do great things. In the word forward is the letter W. This refers to work. The new normal is abnormal. Sabi nga natin kanina, di ba? Para tayong naloloko na because work is not staying at home. Work is not just being in front of the computer. Work for an architect is going to the field, going to the site, okay? Making sure that your design has been implemented, making sure that your artistry, your creativity is being implemented and carried out. Pero ano nangyayari ngayon, no? It's so difficult to be doing these things. So what do you have a choice? Yes or no? Okay, syempre, may choice. Diba? Okay. May choice yan. But how do we prepare for it? Do you know that this is just the latest, no? There is 1.6 million. There is a figure of 1.6 million Filipinos who lost their jobs. That is as of July 30, 2020. 1.6 Filipinos losing their jobs. And for 2021, first quarter of 2021, we're saying about around March, there will be 2.6 Filipinos losing their jobs. Ang sakit, no? Robbie Z, may project ka pa ba by 2021? Oo daw. So may job ka pa ba then? So what are you doing to prepare for it? So we should love our work. If we do not love our work, no, somebody else will. Yun ang sinasabi ko. I just came from I do workshops for Valley Bread. And yesterday I said to the group of people who are delivery men, driver, salesmen. Sabi ko sa kanila, if you do not do your job well, somebody else will love your job. Kasi sa isang trabaho lang, isang bakanteng trabaho, hundreds of people would love to do it. If you do not do your job well as an architect, dali na lang kumuha rin na iba. Diba? Ganun ang tao, mga kliyente rin natin. Okay? What we do for our work is we would like to ensure that we always, in a daily basis, become a better version of ourselves. You're a good architect before, then tomorrow, you're a better architect. You're a better version of yourself. Kung pumalpak ka noon, then do again. No? I know of one architecture graduate from SLU, graduated 1986. Yan, batchmate ko siya. So, start computing my age. Okay? 1986 siya. And siya yung pambato actually. Baka yung mga older or more senior, more tenured architects would know this person. Siya yung pambato ng architecture ng SLU before. And sabi nila magtatap yan sa Board of Architecture. You know what happened to the To this person, she failed the architectural board exam. Nagkulong siya for many months in their house. Ayaw magpakita sa mga kaibigan, only her sisters and her brothers ang pinagpapakitaan niya. And then one day she said, she joined this group kasi of people who were very optimistic, parang kursilyo. And she said, I want to be a better version of myself. So she took the board exams again. And every day that she realized that she should always be a better version of herself. You know where she's working now? She's one of the good architects in Dubai. I won't tell you her name. I will just send you a text message about her name. Yeah, so she's now the better version of herself because she exemplified the goodness that she had the choice and she prepared well for it. So she did well in the board exams. In the word forward is the letter A. And A stands for acclaim. Acclaim that there is God, acclaim there is a supreme being, and appreciate all the blessings that is being given to you in a momentous event that's happening daily. I like what Sunshine had in the hotel along Abanao, owned by Sir Mike Del Rosario. Hotel Venice, sabi niya doon, with God, we shall overcome. You see, this was during the early weeks of the quarantine. I think we were first week of April. So acclaim that there is a supreme being that will allow you to be a better version of yourself. Appreciate that you still have a project. Kung wala man, merong darating dyan. Just learn to know and accept that with optimism, you shall overcome. Hi, Hamilton. Nice to see you.
Hello. Sorry
Okay.
po. I'm late.
Sige. Now, in the word forward is the letter R. For us, again, to move forward. So we talk about relationships. Big question. How are you in your relationships right now? When was the last time you called your family members? When was the last time that you sent a text message to your mother? When was the last time that you said, I love you to your father? Oh, mabainak ta lalaki kapayak nga I love you. Bakit ang mag-I love you? Lalaki ako. Diba? Mga pride and all. But you'll never know if you could still say, I love you to your family tomorrow. Because again, we're not guaranteed about tomorrow. When was the last time that you forgave a friend who committed a mistake? When was the last time that you sent a text message to a friend who was feeling low? When was the last time that you attended your GMM in UAP? When did you last pay your dues? Or did you pay your dues? Yes or no? Alam ko yan kasi member din ako ng mga society and professional associations, di ba? When was the last time that you attended a cleanup drive for your community or your barangay? And how is your relationship with your client? Have you been truthful? Have you been practicing high ethical standards? Okay. Have you been fair in your pricing to your clients? Nako, baka may matamaan ako ha, pero okay lang. That's how we are kasi as psychologists and organizational development practitioners, di ba? We always mean well. So if we're telling the truth, yes, we're telling the truth. Okay, here's the other one about relationships. Once genuine character surfaces and relationships are challenged during a crisis. Totoo to. Okay? When not everything is okay, then you are not okay too. But during a crisis, that's where the real character of a person comes out. Diyan lumalabas kung mainitin ang ulo mo. Diyan lumalabas kung resilient ka ba. Diyan lumalabas kung matulungin ka ba. Na hindi mo kailangang i-post sa Facebook na nag-donate ka, di ba? Marami kasi nag-post sa Facebook kasi nag-donate, di ba? Yan. The best thing to hold on to in life is each other. So the best thing to hold on to among you as professionals in the United Architects of the Philippines is actually your co-architects. Ano ba naman na i-mentor natin if we are the more tenured or seasoned architects? No? How do we value our relationships to the younger generation? Mentor them, coach them. Actually, that's what Grachi is doing now. That's what I'm doing now. I am mentoring professionals in the field of human resources. I'm coaching businessmen through the Kapatid Mentor Me Go Negosyo project. And they ask me, binabayaran ko ba ka ba? Minsan, oo. Tutuwa ko pag babayaran ako. But siguro that's one thing already to do during this quarantine and beyond, that we hold on to each other, because good things will happen to good people as long as you value your relationships and you take good care of them. So in the word forward is, let me tell you this muna. From Amit Ray, the voice in his book, it's a you could Google him, no, about world peace, the voice of a mountain. The world needs huge positive energy to fight against the negative forces, and he is referring even to the COVID-19. No? Go to the center of your inner beginning and generate that positive energy for the welfare of humanity. He wrote this during last May. And I totally agree with him. There's just so much negativity already in the world. Tayo naman sana yung dumagdag sa positive energy. So go to your inner center, and that inner center is of goodness, of blessing, and of greatness. In the word forward, the letter D is there. Everyone has a dream. I know of an architect, sabi niya, sana makabuilda rin ako ng bahay ko. Lagi na lang akong may project, pero wala man lang akong bahay na sarili ko. Sabi niya. So a lot of the young generation architects, I wish you well. I hope you could dream big so you could start building also your own dream house. Yeah. And then you help others build a dream also, and be passionate to achieve that dream. Because if you do not have the word passion, then it's just a job. But if you have a passion to do something as an architect, you work with the heart. You do not just work because you are paid for it, but you work because you love it and you want to give love also to other people around you. At pagbabalik-balik na rin natin yung word na dreams, except the word, letter S, it's your armor. You will be armed to face whatever will be happening. Hindi lang kasi COVID-19 ang magiging problema natin, marami pa. Okay? And I'm not negative about it. What I'm telling you is just be armed with the dream that you have, especially for the young generation, diba? Yung mga kabatch ko. Umiti si Robbie C. Okay. Okay? Because if you have a dream, that will be your armor to move forward. Okay. So that is the word forward. And I gave you the meaning for all the letters in the word forward. So we all move forward. Now I'd like you to share in the chat box again. As an individual, how did you bounce back to survive the crisis? Yan, makikita ko na response ni Architect Hamilton. As an individual, how did you bounce back to survive the crisis? Could write down your responses on our chat box. Stronger online presence. Yes, true. Yeah. Kaya nga, I totally agree, no, that the top 3 industries or businesses that are really headed forward beyond the crisis are, number 1, agriculture. Number 2 is still engineering, and I hope architecture is still there, obviously. Number 3 is information technology or ICT, information and communications technology. Nag-freelance po online at nagbenta ng siomai. I love it, Jean. Gusto ko yung pagiging down to earth mo, Jean, no? Acceptance of the reality, Mayan, that life must move on. Di lang move on, di ba, Mayan? Move forward. Take a first step towards the goal. Yep, true. Adopt, yes. Resilience and adaptability, these are the core values that we ought to adopt now. Prayer, guidance, wisdom from above, from Anna. Work, life balance, yeah. Sheila, and then that's gonna be the routine. Milk tea business, yay! So, Ena, kasi I'm a go negosyo mentor. Make sure that your milk tea business is not the usual, and there's really milk and there's really tea. It's not all about sugar. So there. Yan. So thank you for your responses. Next one on our response sheet is very simple question. So are you really moving on, or are you really moving forward, or are you just moving on? Yes or no? Oh, I'd like to acknowledge what Jasmine has shared. She has reconnected to her hobbies, of which she has forgotten them already. Again, Crystal saying she drew a lot. Yep, prayers, yes. Big yes. Yes, both. Elvin is saying yes. Yes, both. Mhm. So we've seen kanina, no, magkaiba talaga ang moving on and moving forward. Kasi moving on is just actually hindi masyadong gigantic ang steps. And if you follow the each of the letters in the coin, the forward that I presented earlier, it's easier. Yun na nga lang letter F na just facing your fears, very important already. Especially the embracing of the reality that you are good and all of those that you have written there. Yan. Again, as a connection to what, kasi kanina as an individual, let's be more specific. As an architect, what have you done to move forward? As organizational development specialists kasi, we would like you to focus on what you can do already. Something that's more implementable for the next 2 weeks. Can we give a time frame for that? Okay. For the next 2 weeks as an architect, what have you done to move forward? So kung nasimulan nyo na, what else can you do to move forward? May nabinbin bang project? So what can you do about it? May kulang bang pondo? Sige, you could write down again your responses here. Sa chat, kuwan po natin. Gusto ko yung grupo nyo, highly responsive ko yung bilis. Okay. Focused on skills. Siguro, Jean, no? Again, I come in as an OD specialist here and a coach, no? You don't need to post it anymore, but what will you focus on skills? What specific skills? Yeah. Skills on what? Okay, I'm seeing more people coming in. Okay. Yan. Mga nagpapa-admit pa. According to Sir Abelardo, architect kanilang to learn a new software digital world. True, no? Teki, kaming mga ano kasi, aaminin ko na yung mga edad-edad namin ha, yung mga 40ish and above. We have to really upgrade into the new digital world, di ba? And then we allow our children to do things for us. Or we hire people who are good at it, at technology, and we let them do the work. Continuing learning. Yan, yan. Thank you so much, Joverly. So that's continuous learning. And CI, what we call continuous improvement also. Attend more webinars as a form of learning. Yes, that's right. Mayan. Okay. Jean, rendering skills po. And communication skills. Okay. Pagkakalam ko pag rendering skills, ito yung sa sketches ba to? Yeah. I saw on TV, just to give you, while the others are still responding, no? I saw on TV a lady who was interviewed, and she's an architect, and she doesn't have much projects. And what she did, because she loves drawing and painting, she did sketches, and then she's now doing drawings on cloth, and she converted that skill into a business, and now she's selling her paintings on bags. Diba? That's an opportunity opened in the word forward. So hindi siya makapagpa-design ng mga ngayon maka-create ng designs as an architect. So yung pagiging artist niya, ginamit niya to move forward by drawing, sketching, painting on cloth, ginagawang bag. Watching tutorials and do it yourselves, or the DIYs on unlearned skills. Advanced Photoshop, yes. Thank you, Dale, President Dale. Yeah, Photoshop, ang dami, no? Mga Corel, mga ganun. Iba pa yung mga ginagawa ninyo. Did both, but just continued with my life and projects to this new model. Yeah, true. Tuloy lang ang buhay, di ba, Sir Elvin? Sige, we'll get 2 more responses. Si Sir John, medyo tahimik ngayon ah. Ako nakikita response si Sir John ah. Sige. So, moving forward, sige, I'll still go back naman to your responses. Oh, meron pa. Teka, may humabol na 2. Basahin ko na to. Yan, resilience with a smiley. Jekami, yan. Ngayon ko lang nakita si Jekami, resilience. Hamilton, now I see your response. Learning Lumion on YouTube. Ano po yung Lumion? Diyos ko, hindi ko alam yun. Nauulam ba yun, yung Lumion? Lumion. Whatever that is, good luck. Okay? Sige. I-google ko mamaya ano yung Lumion. Yan. Now, kanina, no, meron tayong, on the screen that you will see now, we spoke about the reality of what you are, the I am. In normal trainings that we have, that's what we call the I am cards. So that is the reality that you embrace, that you are this person. This time, for your work or your seat work, your workshop, for moving forward, you write down doables that you can do to move forward. Number 1 is for yourself. What can you do for yourself? It could be similar to what you've posted on the chat, no? What can you do for yourself? And number 2 is what can you do for your family? And the third one is what can you do for your organization, which is the UAP, and or your clients. Ito, you don't need to post it already. Kasi I truly trust you naman that you're writing it down. Si Chelsea, very attentive. Chelsea, gusto ko nasa graduate class kita kasi very attentive ka. Love ko yung mga estudyanteng ganun eh. Oh. Okay. So, sige lang, you will write down pa your responses on your sheet of paper. Okay, so by the way, si Norbert says he will keep in touch and communicate constantly. Yep. Good thing to do. Communication is key during these days that you do not have face-to-face contacts. Sige. So isulat lang po yung I can, something that you will do for yourself to move forward. Number 2 is what you can do for your family. And then the third one is what you can do for UAP and or your clients. Now, let's level that up, okay? Since nakasulat na kayo niyan. What can you do is, on that sheet of paper, di ba, you've written it. And then, itlagay nyo yan sa may kama nyo, sa tabi ng kama nyo, or i-encode nyo yan sa cellphone nyo, or lagay nyo yan sa refrigerator nyo. Diba? Na nakikita nyo araw-araw, nababasa nyo araw-araw. So that in the next 2 weeks, what you thought they cannot do, you will be able to do already, because those are your icons, and you'll be able to move forward despite what's happening. Despite the challenges, you will be able to move forward already. So I will not go to your houses to check if you're doing the icons, ha? Kasi ang ginawa ko, nagpakabit po ako ng CCTV camera sa inyong mga bahay to check if you're doing those things. Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing people writing down talaga. Oh. So thank you so much, ha, kasi you're very participative. I could see your reactions. Yan. So I take you back to the screen that we had earlier. So again, this is the framework that I am sharing with you. Okay, this is actually based on my learnings also from Gallup's Management Journal and the trainings on strengths. So you have embraced the reality of what you have written and confirmed, acknowledge about yourself. And for you to move forward, these are the things that you could do. Facing your fear, embracing opportunities, accepting the reality that you could do things, loving your work further, and then claiming that there's a supreme being beyond and above, appreciate the blessings that you have, valuing your relationships and dreaming big and helping others dream also and supporting them in their dreams. And then this will all lead you to your icons. And mas madali ang usad ng buhay if the whole UAP Baguio chapter will be moving forward. According to success.com, a borrowed quotation, sometimes we are tested not to show our weaknesses, but to discover our strengths. Again, sometimes we are tested not to show our weaknesses, but to discover our strengths. And showing your strengths is not a show off. It's just embracing and embodying the person that you were created to be, that you are good, you are great, you are blessed, and you can do great things. And according to the me, that's me, when you move forward, let's help others move forward too. Because it's not all about us. We are in a better world when we are able to help others move forward. Because if one is good, another is good, and then the whole world becomes a better place to live in. So I think that's it for the United Architects of the Philippines Baguio chapter. I hope you learned a lot from this mini webinar that I've conducted. It's a crap of a whole 8-hour session actually that we're doing to organizations. So sana po may natutunan kayo. And yeah, I'd like to thank the organizers of this webinar for inviting me. If there are any questions, please feel free to raise them now. Yeah, Dale, thank you so much, President Dale.
Thank you din po for indulging us and having you as our speaker for tonight. So members of UAP Baguio, if you have any questions, pwede sa chat, pwede din i-voice din dito, and if you have any insights then to share, the floor is open for you. Sabi ko naubusan po ata sa sa dito sa very ano po kasi very interactive ngayon.
Hindi na nga ako gumamit ng Kahoot. I would have wanted to use Kahoot. Kaya lang minsan naglalag kasi yung internet.
Yeah. Yung
challenging. Yeah. Mas interactive. Yeah. Oo. Sige, anyone who'd like to perhaps share a wisdom or a wisdom, opportunity, or worthwhile action, or an insight that you have learned, something that hit you.
So the chats are also open if you're shy to voice out yung.
Yep. Let me just share with you while the others are still thinking. No, when I did this for DepEd and with DOT also, those were the two groups, and then there's a company called Glock Systems Incorporated. It's a security agency in Manila, based in Manila, which is doing who provides for security guards, no, in Subic and in Clark, and they were kind of shy when they were giving their insights after the webinar, the same webinar that I did for them. And then one heartening, warm-hearted reaction that I received. Somebody sent me a text. I don't know where she got my number, and she said, "This is a lady," and she said, "Thank you so much. After listening to you." Now, before listening to you, I was planning to think of something bad. And this person, during the quarantine, thought of committing suicide. I'm not scaring you. Okay? I'm not scaring you. But this actually happened. And she said that she was really enlightened. And she only thought that she was just thinking about herself. Just thinking about herself throughout the quarantine. And she was enlightened because she learned that it is not all about her, but because it was about her family who was all dependent on her, because this is a solo parent. Sabi niya, "Thank you so much because I was enlightened." So, and I hope that a lot of people through webinars that we conduct will be enlightened also, so that we do not just move forward, but we also help others move forward. Hindi ko po kayo sinisindak ha, pero that really happened, and that really was a heartwarming text from a person. Sige.
Parang very
Tahimik ha, seryoso ha.
Oo nga.
Yeah.
Parang everyone
mukhang cerebral eh. Sige. Okay lang. I think it's the left brain working now. It's okay.
Parang na-drain po ata lahat sa
Oo nga, But it's okay. Sige. Yan. So again, I'd like to greet everybody a good evening. So let's all move forward and then sana'y magandang buhay po nating lahat. So there. So
Yes.
I'm signing off. This is Doc Grachi po.
Ay, ma'am, before
Ano?
yes, we would like to offer you a certificate of appreciation. So we'll send it to you. Mag-usap na lang po kami ni Architect Jonard kung how.
Ay, oh, sige.
Yes,
Akala ko may,
yes.
akala ko may
Yes.
awarding kasi yung sa ibang webinars nakakaaliw. Meron kaming virtual awarding. Yung parang iaabot na ganun yung certificate, tapos kunwari aabutin ko.
Sabi ko nga po, hindi
Sa
na
cute.
na ho eh.
Ang
Oho.
cute nun.
Oho. Sabi ko nga hindi, parang afterwards na lang ho siya.
Oo.
So, wala lang ako yung screenshot ngayon. So, it's a certificate of appreciation for awarded to you, Ma'am Grace Grachi Canave, for your talk about moving forward. This UAP Baguio's General Membership Meeting 3 held today on September 19, 2020. So thank you po, ma'am, again for joining us this evening. I hope you had fun talking about moving forward to our constituents.
Yeah. Thank you too.
Sabi ko, I hope everyone was being enlightened with the talk tonight. And sige po.
Okay.
Alrighty, thank you very much, ma'am.
Yeah, sige. Thank you po, UAP Baguio.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you and good evening.
Good evening po. Alrighty, so to our members, we'll also formally start our meeting. Kung wala na po ba talaga tayong other insights? Wala talaga eh. Alright, ma'am. I'll share na yung page mo ha.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you din po, ma'am. Thank you so much. Alrighty. I hope we'll have a very brief meeting po. So it's more of memos and mga certain reminders po. So nag-share na po ba yung screen? All right. So it's officially opened. So we would like to share first yung mga minutes from last time. So we have PRC updates, memos na mass sent from from the time of our last GMM up to now, and then upcoming events, and a reminder of our ongoing World Architecture Day contest. So let's start. So all minutes of the meeting can be downloaded at our website, uapbcc.card.com. That's CO pala, hindi walang M. So CO supposedly yan. So first off, meron na pong in-announce meron brief before na mag-a-announce si PRC with regards to the mass oath taking of January passers. Kasi if you would recall past topics, hindi kasi pwedeng mag-pledge ang January passer na hindi nakapag-mass oath. So marami ng mga January passers na nag-pledge sa Baguio, pero hindi pa sila makapasok because of that condition. And then we have the ambag program ng Area A. So it's somewhat of parang mag-shoulder ang isang member for another member sa kanyang dues, or by application yung anong pangalan nito? By application, ang chapter ang magbabayad ng dues. So nandun siya sa minutes na nada-download yun for more info. And then for our activity reports, we had our bingo night before nung August, and then we will have again next month. So may prizes abound, so cash prize yun. So, and then we also reported that we have distributed tokens for our speakers. So, meron na po yung napadala natin kay Architect Tabangin. And then we have sent also to UAP Main yung kanilang mga tokens and certificates, as well as our speaker last August, then si Aline. And then we had reported some webinars na pwede niyong pasukan, and our official announcement of the contest for WAD. So, PRC updates. Ano ngayon ang bago sa PRC? So, according to the memorandum given by UAP Main, Circular 7, may schedule na yung ating mass induction. So, it's now on September 26, Saturday, 2 p.m. So, pwedeng panoorin sa Facebook, and nasabi na to sa mga January passers natin na mag-pledge. So, those members na mag-mass oath taking sa September 26 will be officially inducted sa December during our charter day then. So, watch out for our invite doon. So, for our UAP memos, this is yung mga memos na binigay ng national for us. So, there are medyo light-hearted, and then there's also the specific response doon sa, kung napansin niyo yung PICE circular na yon, so I'll discuss later. So firstly is circular number 4. So it's a call, this is to continue yung previous admin with regards to their old yung nila regarding sa architecture. So we're encouraging UAP members to submit and contribute feature articles. So these are the requirements. You could screenshot it para for your reference. This could be kasi may sasama sa report ito. And then there's also the email address na for this endeavor. Aking nag-skip, sorry. Okay. Circular 5 is yung official na nga na ang lahat ng membership dues, national and local, parang more of our local kasi nag-ano na kami, parang nag-carry over na kami doon. So, sumasabay na lang kami sa national. So, all the fees are extended to December 31, 2020 without any penalties. And then, since kanina na pag-usapan natin regarding sa moving forward and growth, Memorandum Circular number 6 talks about AeroPH's 27th World Congress. So, for an reference lang, ayan. So, these are some of the speakers who will be talking October 2 to 3. So, different countries na yan. You could check their Facebook account for any info. So, these are pwede nyo lang screenshot ito. So, as an idea lang on what would be talked about. So, next we have these speakers. Yeah. So, you could screenshot it. I'm giving time then. So, ito merong price lang kapag kapag member ka, and then there's premium, and then there's the free one. So, it's limited slots only. More info on their Facebook page. So, ito na yung medyo, this is the most parang crucial part with regards to us as architects. So, kung napansin niyo nga meron ngayong umaaligid sa Facebook na post with regards to PIC's claim. So, this is a strict implementation of 9266. As chapter presidents, we're instructed not to talk with LGUs. So, we're trying to contact them, especially ngayon. We have known, meron nag-report kasi sa amin recently na tinanggal completely ng SIBAW ang architectural permit dito sa Baguio. So this is very alarming for us as architects. So ngayon, I have reported this to our district director, A1A. Ngayon, and then he forwarded it to our national president then. So they will be sending also a letter to our CBAO. But also in our part then, I have contacted also SAMCAP and Cordillera. Joint effort ito for the 3 chapters since this is very serious. Hindi lang kaya ng chapter natin. We have to be in solidarity with this. So we are also conducting a task force din sa chapter din natin. Us as a board is still discussing this endeavor. Ito, binigyan lang din tayo ng contact with regards to reporting requests, mga documentations na kailangan natin if reporting. There will be a website for all these reports. Hindi pa naman nasasabi sa amin kung what is that website, but we will inform you immediately if there are any turn of events with regards to that. So I'm also giving this time para ma-screenshot ninyo kung sino lang yung mako-contact. So yan. Circular 9 is more of yun dun sa Aero PH, the seminar. So na-discuss naman na din. So, okay. So our upcoming webinars, this is more of webinars sponsored by Area A. So firstly is UAP Talks from Middle East and Southeast Asia. So this will be on September 25, 7 p.m. Manila. So Kila Design, I hope I'm not butchering their name. It's said to be the first 3D printed commercial building in the world. So very interesting, 7 p.m. And then, saan na siya? Ba't tayo gumalaw? I'm having technical difficulties. Sandali ha. Yun. Okay. Next is on October 2. It's still part of their... sorry. Aking computer ay nagloloko. Okay. So, next is on October 2. Part kasi parang sinama ko na siya since it's a package by So, medyo conflict siya dun sa isa. But it's 7 p.m. So, it's your choice na moving forward on how to deal with our profession. So, Zaha Hadid Architects is going to have a talk also, October 2, 7 p.m. UAP Middle East, Southeast Asia chapters po, sila pong nag-sponsor nito. And then, yan. Yung isa naman na parang nag-email din sa atin is underpinning the local city's livability through blue and green infrastructure. So these are the speakers. This will be on September 26, 3 to 7 p.m. So this is accredited. So free registration. For more info, you could check out UAP Baguio, UAP Keeping You Posted. So I would suggest also members to check that page kasi yun yung main na page na sinusundan ng UAP, lahat ng chapters ng UAP. There are also copies of the memorandums that I have said kanina. So for further reading, you could check that out also. So next is mga chapter announcements naman na. So as I've said a while ago, we have for World Architecture Day week, actually, we have an ongoing design contest. So we have as an incentive, these are the prize. So medyo hinati na rin namin siya into categories. So professional categories, this is open actually to all architects ng Baguio. So if you know anyone who is interested, ito po yung more information sa ating UAP page. So nandun yung requirements, nandun yung and then this will be posted. This will be on an online platform, not Facebook per se, but there will be its own website for you to check out and then to leave comments and all. So yun. We'll be posting that the website will be live on October. So you could view the whole thing, the whole all entries, buong October open po siya. This would be printed out. This will be given to the City Planning Development Office, City of Baguio, as parang benchmark nila for any design their design guide kung sakali, parang let's put ourselves also in the development of Baguio City para hindi naman tayo sabihin na dormant, para makita yung presence din natin. So yun. Next is this one is we have received a letter from Bridge of Hope, a call for donations. We would like to keep this gusto lang sa namin i-share din sa members natin to. So they're asking for a donation. We would like to ask for your opinion on this later after this, kapag i-open ko na yung forum. So the donations there's actually a full letter for this. It's either monetary, which will go to existing restrooms and hand washing renovations sa nakalista ng mga elementary schools na nandito, or they would like physical, so mga flash drives and all. So I'd like to ask the opinion of the members on how to deal with this later on. And then lastly, for our agenda, kasi matagal nang dinidiscuss with regards to the fellows. So I've discussed this with the past presidents meeting na kami nag-discuss last week. Emailed them, and then they gave me a reply on how to go about this. So to report lang. So for now, the ang bola po is nasa aming mga board of directors. So we have to give nominations for qualified members for the jury of fellows. So ang requirement lang naman nila based doon sa binigay sa amin is dapat 10 consecutive years na in good standing. So mga submittals na kaming magpro-provide. So original copy, so qualified members. So meron na nagbigay sa amin ng names who are interested to become a fellow, but I'm opening this also to other tenured members who would like to be fellowed, to be a member of the College of Fellows. So ito po ang requirements. Parang sabihin nyo lang po yung interest ninyo. We won't force you to join. Pero kung talagang gusto nyo na po yung yun yung natin. So, these are the requirements na kami pong gagawa. And then, yung computer ko. Okay, so, deadline of submissions will be on October 23. So, meron na pong address na binigay din. Hand carry. And then, ito po yung parang fields of expertise na needed po sa mga those who want to be fellows. So, dapat may expertise ka sa private practice, design build, project or construction management, heritage preservation, Tas kapag government, service in government, either ba in national or local. Tapos, architectural academe. So, yun pa naman ang ano. Because they didn't give us yung parang kung paano sila mag-judge doon. Basta, ang kanilang requirement lang is just the name of the nominees. And then they will inform us, the College of Fellows will inform us kung okay yung mga nominees. And then, they will say kung may additional attachments. So, I'm going to share their schedule then. Wait lang. So, parang kompleto yung binigay din sa akin na parang hindi makita. Wait lang. Okay. Yeah. So, binigyan na ako ng full calendar. So, ang ano po natin dito, yung sa atin po is the October 23. So, would like to ask members who are interested to email it to me or message me if you have interest in joining the College of Fellows, so we could include you in the list of nominations. And then we will contact you once you've been approved. So ito, ano na talaga sila. So, yun. And then, unfortunately, Architect Neil is not with us today. Sabi ko sana yung kanyang treasurer's report supposedly today. So, with that, I have to conclude my meeting. If there are any questions, by the way pala, I've been having messages with regards to certificates pala of previous GMMs. So, magagawa na lang kami ng folder with na share dun sa website, and then you could download it. We'll inform you if that service is online na. So, if there are any questions or any concerns with regards to what I've discussed, the floor is open for discussion. Pwede rin po sa chat. If you're shy with kung ano po ang ano natin. Chat. Meron po ba? Parang tahimik na tayong lahat ah. Hello?
Ma'am.
Yes po, meron pong may nagsasalita po sa ano. Hello?
Hello? Ay, sorry.
Akala ko. If you have questions with regards, especially yung kung may concerns kayo with regards dun sa RA 9266 na ano natin, task force, if you have any suggestions on how we could go about. Jonard, meron kang...
Bakit ako nga, parang lumabas yung mata ko sa mukha ko sa reflection mo. ng
Sorry.
glasses.
Sorry, tatanggalin ko na.
Maybe just going back on dun sa mga concerns natin dun sa agenda natin na ngayon GMM. We highlight especially with that the issues on the implementations of RA 9266. So kung if we try to dig in on the current issue, actually buong ano naman ata yan buong bansa naman ata yan. So kung hindi man habang nagte-take action on a national level siguro magtulungan na rin tayo dito as UAP dito sa Baguio and our partner organizations as well sa SAMCAP and Cordillera na hopefully ma-push natin na makapag-communicate and connect sa city to come up with an ordinance, kasi yon at least hindi covered ng DP yon, for example. Pwede natin maprotektahan ng profession natin at least on the city level, for example. Ayan, no, si Sir Norbert Ugay, ayan. Meron siyang comment.
Architect Mike Calusa to lead the task force. Sige po, sir. We'll contact him with regards to that and ask for his insights as well. Kasi parang he's very good with it comes to this type, since kasama siya dun sa nagsulat. Parang sa formulate nung.
Yeah. May I have the floor?
Yes, sir. Yes po.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I concur on the suggestion of having Architect Calusa lead the task force, because he has been he has been with the UAP National Board, and he is the most authoritative and the most vocal among the Baguio architects. But what is important now is that we make a move that is appropriate. Maybe I will suggest that we do some data gathering first.
Yes, sir.
What do I mean data gathering? Do we have it from, number one, do we have it from good authority that CBAO, that the local building official has really obliterated the requirement for the architectural permit? If that is the case, then we can make representations questioning his action and questioning specifically, particularly, where the order emanated from. As we know, the battle, it's always, unfortunately, our battle is always, unfortunately, against our brother civil engineers. It is always unfortunate that all of us, and if you will look at the relationship when it comes to the implementation of the building code, who are in charge actually? It is our brother civil engineers. So we are always at we always constantly find ourselves in the losing end. Karamihan ng building official, mga CE yan eh. Nabibilang mo sa daliri mo yung building official na arkitekto. So that is the reason why we must always reconcile who we are up against. Fortunately, for us in Baguio, before we enter into the battle, I think we should reconcile with our positive points as far as the battle we are about to embark in. Namely, the building official, the acting building official, and the subordinate building official are both architects. Johnny Degay is the building official, acting building official. Homer Soriano is his subordinate. He is also an architect. So I will imagine that if they really obliterated the requirement for the architectural permit, they did not have a choice. I don't think they will do that at their own accord, as simple as natakot sila or ano, but they did not have a choice. So those are the things that I endorse for you to initially look into before bringing the documentation to Architect Calusa. As I said, Architect Calusa will not take this sitting down so long as you inform him. Okay, And he is the best candidate to do this because he has the personality, he has the track record of being he knows the documentation and he knows the history about this. I know about the history of the RA 545, 546. Actually, that is the root of this problem. RA 545, RA 546. What is RA 545? The old architecture law. 544 is the old civil engineering law. Anyway, I will not delve on that root of the problem now. I will just say, I will end this now by saying, let us prepare for battle. We will gear up for battle because we should not take this sitting down. Madam President, for
Yes,
your
sir.
appropriate action, thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Hello. Yes, sir. Kasi po ang last po na parang kwento po sa amin, ni-report po ni Architect Carion na habang nagsasubmit daw po kasi siya nung full documents for building permit, tinanggal yung architectural permit. And the one who received sabi hindi na daw kailangan yun. So that was yung nag-alarm. So for the information of our members, ganun kasi yung nangyari. No, I'm not sure if hindi lang na-inform yung nag-receive. Pero the point is, even dun sa mga required downloadable forms sa website ng Baguio, hindi kasama ang architectural permit. So, isa pa yun. So, right now, we're trying to draft, all us three chapter presidents of Baguio City, SAMCAP and Cordillera chapter. We're trying to draft now parang kung paano yung response letter nun. And as suggested by our members ngayon, we'll also tap into Sir Mike for his guidance for this. Kasi nga, tama po ang members po na he's very well versed with regards to this. So, mas malakas po ang ating laban if he's on our side. So, yeah.
What is important is we do not take this sitting down. And
Yes, sir.
like I said, it should not be the verbal report of somebody. It should always be a documented thing because what will happen if you start complaining against the local building official and he will deny it? Siyempre, tayo ang mapapahiya o baka mapahiya din siya.
Yes,
so, sir. Maybe if somebody can talk with him or I don't know, but what is important is we have it from good authority. It's not only sabi ni ganito, sabi ni ganon. That's very dangerous, I think.
Okay.
And
yes, sir.
Should not kasi as far as this thing is concerned now, what you have is hearsay, meaning.
Yes,
we trust our fellow architects, but iba yung meron kang ebidensya eh.
Yes, sir.
Opo.
Sir, may I add? Ma'am Dale. I have to agree with Sir Rapi as well that we can come up with gathering not really evidences but more of a database or reports, documented reports na lang din to documented reports for us to have a backup dun sa position paper that will be sent, for example, sa concerned offices natin. Just to add up, yun nga kasi hindi lang kasi isa yung case nung pinagsasoli yung mga architectural permit, and yes, of course, that is really alarming. And the best way that we can do para yun nga nabanggit rin ni Architect Penaverde nga na black and white document siya. So when we say that hopefully yung mga members din natin and the other chapters too hopefully would come up with gathering these reports para meron tayong pang backup dun sa let's say position paper at least on a city level.
Yeah. So basically then we're asking the members also. So kung napansin nyo nga rin yun, or nakita, ganun din yung nangyari sa inyo, please report it to us para makasama siya sa parang whole database natin to strengthen our paperwork. Kasi right now, yun nga, tama po si Sir na hearsay lang kasi sa isang tao pa lang natin naririnig yun. So, as much as possible, mas marami sana. Okay. Are there any other concerns or any other suggestions, insights, or any topic you would like to open to this forum? Provide evidence. Ay, meron po si Sir dito, si Architect Banyares. Provide evidences, documented evidence, 3 or more at least. So, yun din po. 3 or more at least. Parang class action na ang mangyayari dito. So I'd like to ask our members, let's all be vigilant with this. We're not called united for nothing. So dapat talaga tulong-tulong tayo lahat kasi lahat tayo affected dito. It's bad enough na kapag nakakita ka ng mga building permit posters all around Baguio, iilan lang yung may naka-fully na fill up na may kasamang architect. So, yun. If there are any other, kung kahit sa chat tayo, if you have trouble voicing it out here, na boses, you could always say it through our chat line dito. Wala na po ba tayong very kupay ko po sa office namin. Kasi po, nilalakad din po namin yung building permit ng local infrastructures. Oh, okay. We have... Sige, Abby. Thank you. Nilalakad din po namin building permit ng infrastructure. Pinatanggal din po yung architectural permit. Yes. We'll also set a strategy on how to do this. Sige po. 7. Okay. So are there any other excuse me. Oh, it's more of BPW. Verify ko po. And thank you very much, Architect Abby, for this. She's more of BPWH na Abby. Yes. Okay. Sige, i-ano nga natin yun. DP ang mag-mandate din sa SIPO. Yeah. We'll check on this. We'll work on this talaga. And then provide a chapter task force with regards to this. And then we will report on any upcoming developments with regards to this. Thank you again, Abby, for the info. So, if there are no more... Teka lang, meron daw dito. If there are no more questions, I would like to officially adjourn this meeting. So, thank you very much for coming tonight. I hope that you have enjoyed and learned something. Meron na ba si Jonard? Jonard stepped out a while ago. So, if you could open your cameras lang din for our documentation. Again, thank you very much for coming tonight. I know it's been short. Okay na rin yun. Could you just everyone face the camera now? Wala kasi nandito ba si Jonard? Wala. Okay. We'll have our photo session po. And then also as a reminder, ay, yes, may nag wait lang Kiki. Everyone's camera open, ah. Ay, pangit yung kapag ako. Sorry, hindi kasi ako gumagawa nung pangit yung ano ko. Any of my officers ngayon na medyo maayos. Ay, ito na si Jonard. Sorry, guys. Jonard. Very ano yung aking camera dito. Sana for recording. Okay. This next page. Just keep your ano ho. Ako.
Sama ba ako, ma'am?
I-ano mo nga lang yung double mo kasi sa akin medyo shoddy yung ano, yung aking screenshotting.
Naka-phone ako, ma'am. Bale, ganito na lang. Yes, ma'am. I-gallery review nyo na lang yung ano, ma'am, yung participants. Then, screenshot ko na lang later sa recording.
Okay. So, right now, i-ano ko na lang. Ganun ba ginagawa mo? Kasi sa akin din phone. Parang also apologies dun sa mga humihingi ng certificates. I'm still looking for dun sa malaking box namin. So parang I'll get back to you as soon as possible talaga dun. So ano ko na, Jonard. So ganun pala yung ginagawa mo. Okay. Kiki. Naka-phone ka pala, no?
Lipat ako saglit.
Hindi, sige, okay lang. Yun lang kasi medyo shoddy kasi yung sa akin eh. Pasensya na po guys ha. And then last for me, last na talaga. Okay. Alrighty. Again, thank you very much po for taking the time to join us tonight. And I really hope that you give us reports then with regards to sa 9266 because we will not fail.
We cannot move forward pag walang participation ng members.
Yeah. And then, once again, sasabihin ko, we will announce immediately if certificates can be downloaded starting from doon sa starting doon sa may induction. Kasi walang speaker doon sa June na GMM natin. At saka, hindi kasi talaga siya nagka-count sa fiscal year. So that would be previous fiscal year came architecturally. So mag-umpisa ng July sa induction up until today, this September. So I hope na maka-treasurer's report kami by October. And we will post another invite then. So our next event would be our
fellowship.
bingo night. Our fellowship bingo night. So may prizes po talaga siya na monetary. So meron dito talaga si Junar, as Architect Junar, na-waive yung kanyang fees. Yun yung price dun sa bingo natin. So I hope that you could all join. And then GMM uli, remembering third Saturday of the month. And then the payment yung information sa payment ng mga dues is on our website and on our UAP page. This would also be uploaded on our official YouTube page and tama no, Jonard? I-upload mo.
Yes. This will be available sa Facebook page natin and also in our YouTube page. So please subscribe as well para happy.
So yeah, para if you want to parang rewatch the our talk kanina. So feel free to do so. So yun. Again, thank you very much.
Okay, wait. Meron na. Pwede na.
Pwede na. Ayan,
okay.
sige.
Okay,
Isa
guys,
pa.
so
Sorry, guys.
Okay. One last wave of smile, okay? Let's have this mga around 10 seconds. So first round, smile. Okay, next. Doubt pala, anong pawaki? Next round, smile ulit tayo.
Sorry talaga.
Pag happy, okay lang yan.
Sabi ko, ang dami.
Oo.
Sorry na.
Ha? Okay, one last smile. And, wait lang. Hindi siya nakaupa. Okay, last. 1, 2, 3. All right. So, happy weekend, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ma'am Dale.
And, this is a journal. And then, also, thank you din sa mga nanood din sa Facebook. We're live on Facebook. So, thank you for joining us as well. I hope that next time maka-pre-reg kayo para counted sa attendance. But, yun. So, thank you again. I'm going to end this.
Congratulations sa mga may induct na finally.
Yeah. And then please hang on to our social media pages for any other announcements and any other developments. Thank you so much again. Good evening. Parang maiwan lang yung mga aking officers. Thank you.
Good night, guys.
Good night. Good evening.
Dale, exit mo na ako. Balik ako sa klase. Balikan kita. Bye-bye.
Yeah. I-end ko na rin yung live stream natin sa Facebook. Thank you, Facebook also.